is how you do week 3 with a PB, a bench press PB. Walked away with a rep PB for 3 reps at 107 kilos on the bench press. Couldn't be happier. I mentioned last week that week 2 is traditionally Golden Week. Golden Week, day 1, off to a rocking start. Hit a PB on bench and hit a convincing amount of reps for the pin squats as well at 146 kilos for one set of 1 to 3 reps and then the back down sets. I messed up. I set the pins at a very low level. I set it about 2 pins lower than I should have. These bad boys right here. If I can give you guys one tip, always set your heights properly because you're going to have a bad day. I learned my lesson. These things happen, but it's okay. We got it done.
And dusted.
It took me about 2 back down sets for me to notice that it was actually really low. So the last 2 sets, I bumped it up about 2 pins higher, and lo and behold, it felt better. It felt weird, like even in the warm-ups, but I didn't really pick up on it until like the first back down set was when I started to question. I'm like, this feels a little bit lower, and I was looking back at the footage, and yeah, it just seemed off. So messed it up there, messed up the top set, but it's alright. Got it done anyway. Followed by the back down sets, 4 sets of 5 cardio with about 10 kilos less.
Good. Up. Last one. Much better. Woo!
Happy with that. And then we moved on to bench press, and that's when the fun started. We hit up about a 2.5 kilo jump from last week. A little bit concerned with how the warm-ups were feeling, especially with the second last warm-up. The second last warm-up was about 97 kilos. It did move a little bit slow, but just maintain that confidence with the last warm-up, and lo and behold, sped up really fast. So pretty pleased with that. Carried it into the top set, got the 3 reps, same sticking point as last week at that very last quarter, but just got to play the patient game. Stay with it, and we got it. So that's a PB, rocking start to week 3. After the bench we did, obviously, 3 sets of 5, and also the close grip, 3 sets of 5. So, and that was pretty much it for the day. We got deadlifts tomorrow. It's going to be interesting to see. Probably only keep it conservative, maybe 5 kilo jump from last week. Sessions are getting shorter and shorter, but they're getting harder and harder at the same time. So just got to stay with that mental game, stay focused. We're not far out. It's getting close, and it's getting harder. So keen to see how the rest of the week shapes up. So we're going to go to deadlifts. 2 sets of 2. Your boy's feeling good. I'm feeling good. I'm happy. Bench PBs. Let's carry it into deadlifts tomorrow.
Wow.
Go, Cody!
Still that's going to end the week there. But before I recap fully, your boy's looking a little bit shaggy. A little bit shaggy up top, so I'm going to have to fix that. Just give me a second. Just like that, we are feeling so much better, so much more fresh. Guys, that is the end of week 3. What a way to finish off this current block. Deadlifts went pretty smooth. I'm very happy with how they moved. It's only 15 kilos off my all-time best 200 kilos. We're going to break that 200 kilos at comp, you best believe it. I have had 3 attempts for 200 kilos for the deadlift. I've had 3 attempts, and each attempt has been... I still have yet to get it. We're hoping to just knock it out of the park for states. It's been that number that's just been holding me back and just holding me down for quite a while now. So to see how deadlifts have been moving in this prep, and to see how I capped it off earlier this week with 185 kilos with 2 sets of 2, it moved pretty well. I'm pretty sure it's a speed PB at that weight, and we still got 2 more weeks of heavy lifting, 2 more weeks to get some work in before we taper off and prepare ourselves for states for a big day. I'm very keen to see what I'm going to produce on the platform, but not just for my deadlifts, also for my squats and for my bench press. I've been reflecting on, I guess how much progression has been made in this prep in such a, I guess, would be considered short amount of time as well. It's just been incredible. It's been really good to see the numbers steadily rising up, and touch wood, it carries that trend up until comp day, and everything is just moving in the right direction. So I'm really happy and really pleased with how everything's going. So you saw the deadlifts, 2 sets of 285 kilos, 185 kilograms, 15 kilos off my 1 rep max. Top set, 2 sets of 2 of that, and then the back down sets moved just as well, just as nicely. I've noticed I've started to take a lot longer with my rest times as well. That's needed. That's something that you're just gonna have to do as the intensity gets higher. You need to allow your body to recover. Took my time with my back downs between sets, but still good work getting done, and the load was pretty good too. For the drop down sets, so very stoked with that. And then we moved on to day 4 low bar squats. What a session that was. Day 4 low bar squats. I came into it with a particular number in mind for my top set of 1 to 3 reps, and we got there. Needless to say, we got there, we did it, we got it. I did expect it to move a little bit slower, but surprised myself. The last warm-up felt a little bit slow, so that's why I surprised myself. I say I surprised myself because I thought that the top set was going to move just that little bit slower, but it actually moved pretty well. I got no complaints. I just realized that I have been zoomed out quite a bit the whole time. I have no complaints with how it moved. It felt comfortable, it felt stacked, it felt groovy, and it moved at a pretty convincing speed. So that's a rep PB with that weight. We're just hitting PBs day in, day out in this prep. It's so good. States is gonna be a warm-up. States is just gonna be a warm-up for nationals. I'm telling you now, we're just getting started. I'm finding my groove, and it's showing. It's actually showing. So States is just gonna be a warm-up, I guarantee you. The top set of squats, like I said, moved tremendously, have no complaints there. It's just, I'm just being left surprised with, my efforts in this entire prep. Every session just delivers the goods. So the back down sets were 4 sets of 5 at 145 kilos, I believe it was. Another rep PB. Another set and rep PB with that weight. Last week was 140 as the back down, so a nice little jump there for the back down 4 sets of 5. Cardio work. I felt so out of breath after every set of that back downs, but got to get the work done. You got to put it in, That's the stuff that makes you stronger. I've got the cardio done, moved on to bench press. Same as day one, 107.5 kilos for the top set of 1 to 3 reps. Got the 3 reps in, and I feel like the 3rd rep on this day was less of a grinder than it was on day one. It's still a little bit of a struggle, but I feel like it was less of a fight for this one on this day. So that's really good to see that, come day 2, with all things considered, the pressing is still looking as good as day 1, if not just that little bit better. So that's what we're striving for. We're striving to just be that little bit better each session. And yeah, so Thursday delivered the goods there. Bench press is coming up nice and well. My all-time best is 115 kilos. So we're not far off that. We'll see how things go. I think we move into singles next week. There's going to be a lot of wind here. I'm sorry if you can't hear me. We got single work, so just hitting singles for these next 2 weeks just allows for maximal effort in the movement, and really see where I shine. So drop down sets for bench, 3 sets of 5, standard, hit 100 kilos again, and I feel like it moved a lot more convincingly this time. Groove was down pat, no misgrooved reps, could not be happier. The weight that used to be my 1 rep max is now something that I'm able to rep out. Like, there's no better feeling. It's a true sense of like achievement. It's a true sense of like, that's how you know that you're progressing. That's like the most objective form of progression, because it's like you've seen where you were, you've seen where you started, and you've seen how everything has just changed over time. Time is your best ally. Don't ever take it for granted, because it's one of the concrete routes to progression. Never take it for granted. Moved on to the last day of the week, Friday, pause deadlifts. I like the variation deadlifts. Deadlift variations are pretty fun, like pause deadlifts, deficit deadlifts, whatever. Like, they're just fun. And I think that's the main point. You gotta have fun. But nothing beats regular deadlifts either. So we do pause deadlifts on day 5, and top set was 172 kilos. Pretty good. I was sort of feeling it out in the warm-ups, find out what my top set was going to be, but at the same time I didn't want it to be too much, because I don't want to fry myself too early. I don't want to hit a brick wall when we still got 2 more weeks of heavy training to go. So try to keep it conservative. It's only about, I think it was like a 2.5 kilo jump, nothing too massive, and because it is a pause, it is going to be harder than the regular deadlift, so it's good to keep it nice and conservative. All the sets moved nice and well. No complaints. It's a great way to wrap up this week. We've got 2 more heavy weeks of training. I can't wait. I hope you guys did enjoy this video, this nice little recap of the block that I've just finished. 3 weeks of nice intensity, but now it's time to cut back down on the volume and just put in the hard work for the heavier sets. I can't wait. These last 2 weeks is really going to show what I'm capable of, and just push myself to the limit. So I'm going to leave the video there, guys. I hope you did enjoy it. If you did think the video deserves it, make sure to drop a like. Drop a comment too. Let me know what you thought. I love seeing you guys' comments. I love replying to them. Have a chat. Let me know what you thought. Give me your opinions. Let me know what you want to see. Let me know if there's any ideas that you have, because I've got heaps of ideas, but I need to know what you guys enjoy. So I'm gonna leave it there. I'll see you guys in the next video as we wrap up. We nearly wrap up this road to APU States. We're getting close now. We're getting very, very close. I'll see you guys in the next video. Stay savage.